Hey, what's up, y'all, and welcome to the 95th edition of the Take One Podcast. I am your host, August C. Jones, and as you can hear, I'm kind of going through this little voice thing. I kind of basically caught like a little mini cold, but my throat is still suffering from it. Still a little scratchy, still coughing up phlegm and all that stuff, but I'm well enough to do this podcast. Early in the week, I really wasn't. I was coughing, sneezing, and runny nose and all that crazy stuff. But I wanted to talk about some of the stuff that had went down. Now, some of the stuff that really mattered that I wanted to talk about that had came out. Some of it, one of the things came out last week. Some of it came out earlier this week. So I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to get into the Luke Cage cancellation as well as Wonder Woman being pushed back almost, basically, I think it's like 7 months. And then we're going to talk some Movie Pass stuff. Yeah, you haven't heard Movie Pass in a while. So I'm going to give you my thoughts on Movie Pass at this moment. And then we're going to go ahead and get into the box office like we do every week and all that good stuff. So first off, let's start off with show news. Let's get this all out the way and let's talk about Luke Cage. Now, Luke Cage was a show that was part of the MCU Netflix type thing. It's in the same universe as the MCU, but somewhat kind of different. It didn't really like reference a lot of stuff. It made light references of, or you know, the MCU and what was going on in the movie verse, but as far as it's straight connecting, like how Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. be doing, like, oh, Iron Man, oh, Thor, you know, it really didn't do that. Neither did the other shows. So not too long ago, we heard that Iron Fist was taken out the fray, and basically it's not going to have a third season on Netflix. Now, I gave you my thoughts, and basically I believe that they're going to take Iron Fist. The reason why it's got taken off is that it's going to be put on Disney's new streaming service that they're going to release next year. Since they're acquiring the rights to, not Warner Brothers, Fox, 21st Century Fox, they're going to have a whole plethora of stuff, and they're planning on coming out with a crazy amount of content. So they're going to be a big factor in this streaming thing as far as going head to head with Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon Prime. They're going to put their hat in the ring, and they're going to do their thing. But I believe that that's where that's going. And with Luke Cage being canceled, that seems like that's where it's going. Now, from what I've read, basically they had some trouble behind the scenes of just a lot of stuff that was happening, and they just really couldn't, get things together. It's like, I guess you could say, creative differences. And I mean, that's sad to hear. That's sad to hear, especially with, the landscape of what it is when it comes to, like, superhero movies and all that stuff. Like, especially with a black superhero. I mean, as successful as Black Panther was, you think that Luke Cage would be one of those, like, characters that a lot of people would, or a lot of African Americans would cling on to. And it's like, maybe it wasn't as good as people thought it was. Like, I didn't see I didn't see the second season of Luke Cage, but I started watching. Well, I didn't see the whole thing. I started watching maybe about 3 episodes in, and what it advertised in the trailer, it still hadn't got to that point. So I can only imagine what people who are watching it actually thought about it. But I don't know. I can't really say whether it was better than the first season or not as good as the first season. But obviously it wasn't big enough to where, or it wasn't received well enough by everybody to where they would try to really fight to keep it on at least for one third and final season. But the representatives for Netflix has came out and said that basically Jessica Jones, Punisher, and Daredevil are all performing good enough to their standards to where they don't have to think about taking them off the lineup and everything else. So I mean, that's good. I think before it's all said and done, we're going to probably hear some more cancellations. I'm not sure. I didn't read this nowhere. I don't have any sources or anything, but this is just my feeling. I feel like sooner or later we're gonna hear Jessica Jones is canceled. The Punisher is going on for one last season and then it's gonna get canceled. Daredevil isn't gonna come up for another season and it's gonna, it's gonna be canceled because we're not gonna get another Defenders. They basically, there's no hints or rumblings that the Defenders are coming back. And I don't think a lot of people really liked it. I liked the season. I wasn't blown away by it, but I did enjoy it. But I know a lot of people didn't. So I don't think that they're gonna bring that back. As far as the Marvel and Netflix stuff, I think that that's about to come to an end. Once they get everything ready for the streaming service to come, I think before it's all said and done, all the Netflix Marvel shows that they have on there are going to be gone, and they're either going to just, they're going to let it go, or they're going to continue on Disney streaming service. And one of the things that I hear is that, that I've read is that it was money cost, because a lot of times, Netflix has all this crazy money, but a lot of times if they want to save money on doing shows, they're going to save money. That's why Daredevil, and basically I guess you could say that's why they touch certain characters from the Marvel universe. You're not going to see an Iron Man type of character on Netflix. You're going to see characters like Daredevil, because there's really no CG needed for him and his stories. Jessica Jones is the same. Luke Cage, Iron Fist, you're gonna need some type of CG and stuff, but it's not crazy, where you're gonna have to put a crazy amount of money up in it. And the same with the Punisher. All this is real life stuff. This is stuff where it needs minimum CG, if any at all, in just the entire season or series. So I mean, if they're using too much money when it comes to this, I don't know. Netflix is pumping out crazy. Man, they got new movies and shows on Netflix what seems like every single week. So I don't know. I can't really say. I don't know. It just sounds strange to me that money will be an issue, but I don't know. I'm not in that game to where I can, really say I agree. Because this and that. Maybe it is some more logistics to it that I just don't get as a fan of this stuff. But Luke Cage is not going to be back on, Netflix. So more than likely they're going to shift over to the Disney streaming service. But that's yet to see, or yet to be announced. Disney hasn't came out and officially said anything. So, hey, it is what it is. So let's go ahead and jump on to the next segment, which is movie news. And so we're going to talk about this whole Wonder Woman thing. So as far as we knew, earlier this year, before recently, next year, this year all we have is, I'm about to say Iron Man, Aquaman coming out from the DC EU, or, Warner Brothers or whatnot. And then next year we're going to have Shazam and Wonder Woman. But now it looks like next year we're just going to have Shazam, as Wonder Woman has been pushed back merely basically 7 months, give or take, all because of just where it was positioned. Now, for those who don't know, where it was positioned at is around a movie that we really haven't been hearing too much about. And I think I might discuss that on another episode of the podcast, because I had thought about that recently and I kind of want to get my thoughts on it. But Star Wars Episode 9, I know a lot of us probably forgot that movie is even on the slate to come out, by, Disney, because we haven't really been hearing anything. Usually we have all this stuff even months, years, and, a year or something in advance, and we haven't heard anything. So, but it was supposed to come out a week before Episode 9. And since this is a conclusion, this is going to have something that Episode 8 didn't have. This is going to be a big movie. And to have Wonder Woman come out a week before it, they're going for the same demographic. Not demographic, but, they're going for the same audience. You know, people that are going to go see Wonder Woman are more than likely going to go see Star Wars, and vice versa. So it's going to be a conflict when it comes to that. And Wonder Woman, as good as it performed, the first one, I don't think the second one is going to match up against Episode 9. That's just impossible. If Wonder Woman 1984 ended up out beating Episode 9, I think I myself and a lot of people would be super surprised. But I don't think that is anywhere close to even being possible. Maybe in another universe. But yeah, it was coming out super close. But then they bumped it back to like November. What is it? So it was supposed to come out December 13th. And so they bumped it to November 1st. And this is all 2019. And it was supposed to, come out earlier. But from what I read, Variety, they said that the reason for the push was basically the whole thing with Star Wars, but it did so well. The first one did so well coming out in the summertime that they wanted to keep it in the summertime. So that was one of the main reasons that they basically saying that it came out. But I think it's more to do with it's coming out around, Episode 9. That's really the big thing. Any movie coming out around that time that's going after the same audience is not going to fare well. Not going to fare well. Unless it's like Avengers 4 or Avengers Infinity. If it's an Avengers movie, then I think they might hurt each other. I don't know. They might cancel each other out and everybody be like, what happened to the movies? Like, everything just disappeared and chaos. But, any movie that come out that's going after the same audience isn't going to fare well. So I think it was a smart decision. I mean, it sucks that we have to wait over a year now, because like we would have been basically a year away from this. Now we gotta wait like a year and a half to see this movie, but hopefully that gives them enough time. Like, if the movie ends up, they need to do some changes, this gives them a little bit extra more time to, attend to those changes. So I'm with it. But, I mean, it sucks that we have to wait a little bit longer. But if it comes out and it's better than the first one, or it's just a flat out good ass superhero movie, I think all of us will be just okay with that. I think that will be just fine. So let's go ahead into the next segment, which is in other entertainment. I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet because I'm running low on time. Plus I need to get to the box office. But so, MoviePass has been quiet lately. And it's did something I ain't going to say under the radar, but it's done something really small to where I didn't notice it until I saw a video on YouTube about it. And now I have to say something because it kind of affects me and it gets me to the point where I may end up just canceling my subscription. And what it is that, so, not Netflix, MoviePass, we all know what they've been going through. If you haven't, just go on the internet or just go to my, you will find any of my podcasts. I'm going to have to look it up and let you guys know which one it is. But basically, it's just, MoviePass has just not been in the best of shape this year, And so with that, they kind of got back on board and things is looking kind of, okay, It's kind of like walking on a bridge that's kind of broke, but at the same time, it's still holding. You don't know when it's going to fall through, but it's still holding. You can hopefully get across. And that's all of everybody who's still on MoviePass is hoping to get across. And just MoviePass itself is just hoping to get across. And so one of the things that they had was partner theaters. And it was a whole bunch of names. That's near me was Goodrich in Indiana. And I think it's some in Illinois, but they're a good little distance away. and it was one Studio Movie Grill, and there was a couple. I think it's like two other movie theaters that they have, e-ticketing. Now, e-ticketing is okay. So basically, let me run it down. MoviePass, when you get it, you get the app, get the card, and when you go to use it, you just check into the movie, to the theater, the movie, the time, and then it'll upload the money onto the card. You use the card like a credit card or a debit card, and your movie is paid for. So if they have an e-ticketing theater, you don't have to use the card. You can go to their check in, it'll give you a barcode, and then you'll just go up to their scanner, bam, and then your movie ticket will print out. And that's what e-ticketing, was doing. And they had certain theaters, different ones in different states. I just named the ones that were near me in Illinois and Indiana. Is Goodrich, as well as Studio Movie Grill, and there's a couple other. But in any case, so recently this week, I don't know, I think it was earlier this week when I found out about it, is that the movie theaters that I just said that were partner movie theaters with MoviePass aren't partner theaters with them anymore. And I can't find anything on the internet. I don't know if the contract that they had just expired, which I'm thinking is kind of like more of what maybe happened, or if it's something that Studio Movie Grill didn't want anything else to do with MoviePass, so they, just ended their relationship, got out of the contract, or maybe the same with Goodrich. But it kind of sucks. Right now, I'm still am a MoviePass subscription holder, and my card kind of broke. So I'm getting another card sent to me, which I need to find out how long it's going to take. But there has been, it was a crack along around the black part, the strip or whatever. So the only way that I can use MoviePass card right now, or the MoviePass service right now, is through e-ticketing. So since I don't have a card, e-ticketing is the only way. And since they took away two theaters that are near me, like with driving distance, maybe about 15-20 minutes away, they took those off, or just their relationship just ended. The contract ended or whatnot. And it sucks because where I work at, the Goodrich Theater is near there. So a lot of times if I want to go to the show, near Goodrich, I could go there, and I won't have to use my MoviePass card, especially now. And then when I'm going to pick up my son and, drop him off to his mom or pick him up from his mom, it's on the way. So every Sunday I would go there, go see a movie, and, that was just my thing. Now they're taking off. So at this point, I can't use it unless I come out of pocket, until I get my card back. And to me, it's something small. It hasn't had big news around it. I haven't seen anything. Like I said, I can't really find anything on, the internet about this whole thing with Goodrich and, certain e-ticketing theaters being taken off the list for e-ticketing for MoviePass. Can't find anything about it. So it got me kind of worried. Like, are they silently kind of like falling apart? Like, they're not saying anything. Nothing is really making big news. So we're not like paying attention, but certain stuff like that will have you paying attention. Like, what are they not telling us? Are, their relationships with these movie theaters, did it end on just, the contract and they just didn't want to renew it? Or did it end on bad terms? And if so, where does the future for MoviePass lie? Like, where is it going to end up by the end of this year or the beginning of next year? Like, is MoviePass still, I know MoviePass is on his last leg, but, like, what's going on? Because right now, MoviePass isn't in a good place. They're better than they was some months back, which I covered on the podcast. But it's like, now they have it to where, you can only see certain movie theaters. You can only see certain movies in certain times. And if you don't, get your ticket at a certain time, then you're going to end up, shit out of luck because you won't be able to, after like 6, 7, 8 o'clock, they take all the movies off of it, so you won't be able to use the Movie Pass service. So it's kind of really iffy right now. Like, what's happening? You know, they've lost 2 partner theaters. You know, was it good or was it bad? You know, and I don't know. It just got me kind of thinking, like, do I really want to keep this service? I don't have my car right now, so depending on when I get my service, you know, do I need to cancel it? I think I probably might need to cancel it or something like that. You know, it's like I don't have a car. I don't have no way to see it unless I go to a partner theater, and that's further away, and I'm not trying to do all that. So that's just one thing I wanted to get off my chest. Like, it's just kind of bothering me. I'm still weighing out the options, and maybe just do something with Cinemia. Maybe do the whole Cinemia thing. And I mean, and I'm not crazy out of luck. Like, I still have the A-list for AMC, but at the same time, other theaters may be more convenient than, you know, AMC. And it's another theater that I like to go to, but it's like I have to come out of pocket every single time. And I've said it before. I love seeing movies like at the last showing. So if I can't, you know, use my Movie Pass, even if I have my card around 9, 10 o'clock, it's like, what's the point of having it? A lot of times I might be busy during, you know, the hours that they have it on there. It just kind of sucks, and yeah, I'm just kind of worried on where everything is ending up, because I feel like sometime soon we're going to get notice that, you know, Movie Pass, this is the reason why, you know, this relationship ended and that relationship ended, and Movie Pass is just falling apart, and there's nothing that can stop it. But hey, it's whatever. If you don't have Movie Pass, then you probably don't. You don't have to worry about it at all. But I mean, that's just something I wanted to talk about. So let's go ahead and jump into the last segment of this episode, which is the box office segment. And just to recap how it is done, or how I do it, is that I give you guys my predictions, and then I'll let you guys know what dominated over this past weekend, what movies are coming out this week, and what are my predictions for this coming weekend. So, with that said, let's go ahead and jump into my last week's predictions for the weekend. So, I said that Halloween 2018 was going to take the #1 spot, hands down. There was no doubt in that at all. If you did that and you put it at #2, you're stupid. Venom was going to take the 2nd spot. The Hate U Give was going to be at #3. A Star Is Born #4. And #5 was going to be First Man. I was wrong. I was really wrong. Because Halloween 2018 took the #1 spot. I was right about that. Over the weekend was 76.2 million and worldwide 103 million. Wow. A Star Is Born took the #2 spot over the weekend with 19 million, domestically 130 million, and worldwide 206 million. Venom took the #3 spot with 18 million over the weekend, domestically 174 million, and worldwide 465 million. Then the #4 spot was taken by Goosebumps 2, Haunted Halloween. Over the weekend, 9.7 million, domestically 30 million, and worldwide 41 million. And rounding off the top 5 was First Man. Over the weekend, 8.3 million, domestically 31 million, and worldwide 57.1 million. And then just the other movies that had came out, we got Mid-90s over the weekend did 258,000. And then Will You Ever Forgive Me over the weekend did 161,000. So what stands out to me, I thought that Hate U Give was a good enough movie to make it into the top 5. I'm so upset that movie didn't hit the top 5. And it hit worldwide, you know, last week. It hit worldwide. So I thought that it was going to do something. And man, I don't know, like, people need to get out and see that movie. That movie was so good. It was really good. Better than what I thought it was going to be. But yeah, that was one of the things that stood out to me. And just that A Star Is Born. over like it's doing better than Venom. Venom took the #1 spot, and Star is Born went after it, in #2. And now Venom is below that. Now, from what I hear, A Star is Born is a good film, and Venom is okay. Decent. Has some entertainment value, But, I mean, I don't know, like, maybe it is a good movie. I'm about to go see it. So, hopefully I end up really, really liking it. But that's one thing that stood out to me. I thought Goosebumps, because of the start that it had, was going to get bumped out the top 5, but it managed to stay up in there. First Man, I think I hit that at number 5, yeah. So that was all, that was it, what it was. But, that was just one thing that stood out to me. Is just, well, the major thing was the hate you give. And the crazy thing with A Star is Born is doing better than Venom. So, hey, give it props to that. So, looking at the movies that are coming out this weekend, we have Hunter Killer as well as Indivisible. So, one is, I believe it's revolving around the Cold War. It has Gerard Butler in it. And the other one is a Christian faith-based film. So, this weekend really don't have anything major coming out. Hunter Killer is a movie that is like a little bit under the radar. The review, I've seen only one review on it, and it wasn't really a positive review. I'm gonna have to check more on it. I may end up go checking it out. I don't know, but Gerard Butler hasn't really, been in movies that make people want to go see him. He's like literally not that far away from being just straight to DVD type film, like how Bruce Willis be and how Nick Cage be with like the movies that they be in. So he's not that far from being that type of actor. But I mean, I don't know. Like, I may end up go check it out. I'm gonna look at the more reviews. If more reviews come out and they seem a little bit more positive or decent enough, I may end up go checking it out. But Indivisible, I'm not really a faith-based type of film person. So that one I think I'm going to just skip and not really caring too much about that. Even though I saw Samson, but that was kind of superhero-ish. So it's whatever. And so let's go ahead and jump to my weekend predictions. And then we can go ahead and end this podcast off. So, #1 is going to be Halloween again. Hunter Killer is not going to make it into the top 5. A Star, basically, it's all going to be the same. Nothing is going to change. That's how I feel. Nothing is going to change. Unless a lot of people go see A Star is Born and then Halloween get knocked to #2 and A Star is Born get knocked to #1. I don't see anything changing. So, everything is the same. Halloween 2018, #1. A Star is Born at #2. #3 is Venom. #4, Goosebumps 2. And #5 is First Man. So those are my predictions. I don't think it's going to change at all. We don't have anything major coming out this weekend. So, I mean, it's a money saver. So, with that said, that ends this episode of the Take One podcast. I'd like to thank you guys for joining me. And bearing with me with, my voice sounding like this, because I've had to stop the recording so that I can cough a little bit and sneeze, and yeah, I'm just a germy. But in any case, so the podcast that you guys can go check out my thoughts on MoviePass and everything that's happening or happened with them leading up to now. You can go check out episode 79 of the Take One podcast. This is all me, episode 81 and episode 82. And I'm just discussing everything that happened, what's wrong with them, just my thoughts and my anger and just venting my frustration with them and letting you guys all know what's happening and the deal and everything that goes along with that. But that's just if you guys interested. It's a real good listen, so I'll say go check it out. But yeah, with that said, I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace out. Hey, before you guys leave, make sure you hit that like button as well as that subscribe button. And you see that little bell? Make sure you hit that to turn on your notifications. That way you'll be notified for anything that appears on my channel. Hope to see you guys next time. Peace out.